How's everybody doing today? My name is Wild Leprecons, or Cody, whichever you prefer, bringing you my first Easter egg achievement sort of thing, and this is actually the achievement Awaken the Gazebo, and it's probably one of the harder achievements to get for Buried, and I'm going to be quickly showing you guys how to actually get this achievement. So the first thing you're going to want to do, as you just saw me do, is you're going to hop down right away on round 1. Don't even buy any weapons off the wall, don't do anything else, just hop straight down. And then you're going to want to get the Remington and draw the chalk, and as soon as you've done that, you're going to have 1,500 points, which is good. You want to get a lot of points to start off with. And then you're going to hop down, and if you saw the little route I took, you're going to have to hop down, go in, and if you know how to unlock the gate with the key, you're going to have to do that, and use the booze, and then he's going to break out. And then, now that you have 1,700 points, you're going to have to quickly run over to the bar, or saloon, whatever you want to call it, and go and grab the booze that's here. If you're doing this solo, the booze should respawn back inside of the cage, but you're going to have to open up the saloon anyway, so it's just good to get it out of the way right away. I just want to quickly mention that I am playing with a buddy here, so it's co-op technically, but you can do this achievement solo. It's a little bit harder probably solo, but I've done it solo, although you can't do it twice. I did the same steps and it worked out for me both times, so you can do this solo. But you need to be very careful with how you're doing it. Make sure you don't get hit by zombies, and make sure the zombies don't despawn. So that basically means leave 2 zombies at the end of each round. And also a quick tip, you can kill up to whatever amount of zombies, but you want to leave probably 2 or 3 left. If you're playing with a friend, you can leave maybe 1 if your friend is just going to have that zombie walk around and smack them a few times every so often. But you want to shoot the zombies instead of knifing them, and I say that because although this is round 1 and you can knife the zombies and get an instant kill and get some points that way, the problem with doing that is sometimes, even though it's round 1, they'll have power-ups like the nuke, and when you get a nuke on round 1, it just ends the round instantly, so it's not worth risking that at all. So just shoot them, and that'll work. But as you just saw me do, you have to go and get booze from the saloon, and use the booze from all the way back at the actual like porch area that they have to make the big guy smash all the way at the barricade across at the gunsmith area, because then you can get the chalks, and that's what you're going to be doing. You're just going to be using a lot of gun chalk to draw different weapons and get 1,000 points for each one, except for the last one, which you get 2,000 points, and you're actually going to have to draw every single one. So I'm sorry, this might be a little bit tedious, but you're going to have to keep going back and forth between this room to get all the different weapon chalks. And I typically like to get the PDW first, draw it on the wall, because that's the weapon you're going to end up having to purchase once you complete all the steps to get as much points as possible. And the next thing is you just have to basically draw all the chalk. And the first chalk I drew is the PDW, then I took the N94, but the order does not matter at all. You get the same amount of points for each one. And the next step is you're going to actually have to go and run this route that I never even knew existed, but my friend Christian showed me. You actually have to get more chalk, and you have to run through the barn, and on the lower floor of the barn, you actually can put a piece of chalk. After running through, it'll take you up to the top of the saloon, and you run through the route, you go up to the top of the saloon, and you draw the chalk in the area that allows you to draw chalk, and you're going to get another 1,000 points from doing that. So at that point, you're probably going to have about 5,000 points or more, and I think I end up having about 5,500 points, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. You're going to see me run the route in a second, and there's one part that you're going to see up a little bit that I actually fall right down, so you got to watch out for that. You have to actually jump over it. I jumped, but I didn't sprint jump, so you have to make sure you sprint jump, otherwise you'll fall and get instantly red screened, and that's not good. And also make sure you don't accidentally hold X, because you might buy a barricade. And right there I fell, so I just quickly cut ahead with the magic of editing to the part where I actually make it. And now you're on the top floor of the saloon, and you have to go sort of this route, and you just end up drawing the chalk right here on the wall, and you get another 1,000 points for doing that. So now you should be at about 5,500 points or so. And now you can just drop down over here, and you have to buy more booze to break the alleyway barricade that you just saw ahead of me. And you can buy the booze from standing right in front of the bar and paying 1,000 points. So now you're going to have 4,500 points. But that doesn't really matter, because now you use the big guy to use the booze from all the way back here, because the farther you are from him is actually better, because you get more points that way. So I did it from all the way back here, and he ends up actually hitting it. Just make sure you do it and he hits it. You have to line it up, otherwise if he misses, you'll have to restart the entire step, because you won't get the points, and you'll have to buy more booze, and it'll just be a pain to do. But you end up having to buy more booze, and at this point you would have had $6,000, but then you have to buy more, so now you're back to about 5,000. And now you're going to want to lead him through the alleyway, which you just broke open, and lead him all the way to the church, which, if you don't know, it's to the left of the fountain. And once here, you're going to make him break open this barricade. And now this barricade doesn't really matter how far you break him from, because you're going to get only a little bit of points from it, no matter what, basically. You can do it from farther away. I just do it from up close because I want it to be safe. And I got about 200 points from doing that. You can do it farther away. Now you're going to want to pick up another weapon chalk, so you should only have one left there. And you're going to run back to the church, run to the left, go up the stairs, and straight ahead there will be a question mark where you can draw another weapon chalk to get more points. And now you only have one weapon chalk that you have to place left. So this part, you have to go to the general store, which, if you don't know where that is, that's right in front of the mystery box area. And you have to start building the trample steam, because this part actually requires the trample steam to complete. It saves you money, and it allows you to get into the mansion without having to break the barricades and paying for the booze and stuff. So you can get a lot of points this way, and it helps out a lot. And quick mention, you should actually be about 5,600 points, something like around that area at this point, depending on how you used and how far the guy actually smashed the barricades from, because the farther away he is, the more points he'll get. So try and keep it as far away as possible, except for areas that might be a little bit risky. Now, the trample steam you should have built, and now you're going to want to simply take the trample steam, and now you're going to get the last piece of chalk and go back to the trample steam area. And right outside the trample steam, over on this roof, the second roof, or the roof where the actual trample steam is, you're going to want to place it. And now you're going to want to run, jump across with the trample steam, and put the last weapon chalk on the last question mark. And at this part, you'll get 2,000 points instead of 1,000. Now you're going to simply want to buy the PDW so you can get through the mansion without getting hit by any witches, because that's going to be the hardest part. Now you have to take that trample steam again, place it in front of this rock that's to the right of the mansion, and it's going to let you fling over it without having to break the barricade, which is always a plus because you don't have to buy any more booze. Now that you're over here, you have to go and actually open up the door, which costs $12.50, and you could buy the MP5 if you don't want to buy the PDW, but I'd always recommend the PDW. It's going to save your butt so many times more because it's got more ammo and it does more damage, I think. At least, that's what I think. But once you're all here, you have to make sure that you're all ready to go inside, because it could be a little bit scary for the first time if you're new to the whole map. But you just basically have to get through this whole place without getting hit by a single witch, because as soon as you get hit by a witch, you lose 2,000 points, and you can't do the Easter egg with only 3,000 points. You need, or the achievement, I should say. You need 5,000 points for this achievement. So once you have all the points, you're just going to have to go inside, make sure that you're safe, don't get hit. And I always recommend just aiming down your sights, going through the whole process, because you don't want to miss any shots. Hip firing could seem like a good idea because it says it was submachine gun, but you don't want to risk anything. You're just going to shoot them, and they're going to spawn in front of you for the most part, except for the last witch, which always ends up spawning behind you, and you're just going to have to run out of the house. So you're just going to run through this whole house. Take your time if you have to. You don't want to get hit by the witch at all. So you're just going to want to push through. Once you get through, you're going to drop down, and now you're going to be in the maze. And the last witch, depending on if your friends stayed behind and followed, or if they followed you through the house, I'd recommend always leaving them behind, because only one person can do this achievement at a time, unfortunately. But you're going to leave them behind. They're going to get the last witch, probably spawning near them. They'll kill the witch. You'll get the points. And if you just heard that noise, that's just the big guy locking himself in jail. My friend must have shot him. But now you're going to want to run through the maze so you can get to the Pack-a-Punch area. And once you get through this maze, you're pretty much done. Do note that the route that I took to get to the maze could be different from the route you have to take. Luckily for me, I got a very easy route. But the maze doesn't really change in its formation, just the green doors that sort of block you off change. If you ever had the paralyzer, though, I just want to quickly recommend you can actually use the paralyzer and get through the maze much faster by floating over those green walls. But that's basically it. You just go here, you pack-a-punch your weapon, and now you're going to be done with the whole Easter egg achievement thing, and you get your cool 30G. And if you want to see what it says very pack-a-punch weapon during round 1 with no one using the bank or anything else. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick little Awaken the Gazebo achievement guide. It's my first guide ever, so leave a rating, tell me how I did. And I think that's basically it, guys, so I'll see you next video. Bye.